Who else?
What are you laughing at?
We always used to.
In 1958, I was with Ellerman Line, and we went on a 6-month trip to India and the Gulf. Like Dennis, I went up the Shuttle Arab to Basra, which was a beautiful city in those days. Is it still there? We went ashore. I went ashore with a couple of cadets who had Iraqi friends who had been cadets, and they trained together. Unfortunately, it was just after the revolution, and there were chaps with rifles in every street corner. And we carried a printing press that was designed to cross out the picture of King Faisal on their currency. So we trotted into Basra, and we were looking for the address where this Iraqi chap lived. Unfortunately, he lived in King Faisal Street. So everyone we asked the directions from turned tail and disappeared. We found him eventually. On the way back, we did India and so on. We came back through the Mediterranean. And just before we sort of entered the Atlantic, we got new orders. And instead of turning right, or starboard as some of you may, going back to the UK, we went straight across the Atlantic. And we were on the American run. Docked in New Jersey, chap came on board to fix the radar, who happened to know my father. It was weird. And he said, hey, there's a job going over there on Queen of Bermuda. So I'll apply for it. And I did. That was the beginning of '59. Did I tell you about the Sparks? Oh, there you go. I joined at the beginning of '59 and proceeded to get banned from the Officers' Club by Mickey Rooney. If I wasn't banned, Dave Harris was banned. There was always one of the two of us. And from most of the hotels in Bermuda, of course. I was there until 1965. Unfortunately, I missed the last year. I didn't know about it. But if I had gone back, I might have got married. So that worked well, didn't it? After that, I did several things, but to cut a long story short, I was working in London and a few years later for IBM, and I met up with Mike Willey, who'd been one of the pursers in Queen, who's not here today. And we started a travel business together, which went on for many years. After a few years, we got bored, got someone in to run it, and we both did our own thing. I went back to university, ended up becoming an academic, and that was my main career, I suppose, after that. I didn't actually grow up until I was about 50. But I settled down with Stephanie, who's my partner. So I inherited 4 children through her, really. I haven't any of my own, to my knowledge, anyway. And it was very good, because they were old enough to take me out and buy me a beer. Now I'm looking forward to the grandchildren reaching the age of 18. But we live... like Dennis, we live in Cornwall. We live on the even lovelier coast of South Cornwall. Dennis?
Yes.
Oh!
Matter of opinion, matter of opinion.
However, that brings us up to date, I guess, and here we are today.
Wow.
So I'll tell you some of the more lurid stories over a glass of beer later. Thank you.
My name's Dave Harris, assistant purser on the Ocean Monarch Amateur from 56 to, I think it was 61, it could have been 66. I think it was 61, yeah. And then I spent a few more years at sea with various companies. I met Dave on the Canadian Pacific Line and advised him to get off the ship. Well, he's not as nice as the Queen. And you applied and got a job with the Queen, didn't you? So, after my time, I couldn't settle at sea because the Queen spoils you for other ships. So, I then changed course. I did a number of things. I ended up in the tobacco industry, working for Imperial Tobacco for some years, and then Seyssel in France, which I enjoyed most. You know, most people think the French are awful. I think they're wonderful folk. So, from there, I retired. And I'm just here taking it easy, and it's just marvellous being with you guys again. And I just wish the Queen was still here, we could all go back.
Stand back, and joined the Ocean Monarch in 1954 to 55. I looked after Charlie Acton, who served the valet to the chief steward, and I forgot his name now. At any rate, I left there in 54 and 55 and went back to Newcastle, and then carried on going to sea. I've been on all the liners. I've been first class steward all my life, and I'm now going on 78, and I've had a good life, and I've missed the sea life. I don't know what that, and I'm now living in Springbok for the last 11 years. I retired in 91. So with ill health now and other things coming on, I'm quite happy to stay here and be looked after. Thank you very much.
I'm John Durbin. I joined the Queen in '61 with Alan and Ian down there, and along with 12 others from the Sea School, we all joined together in Belfast when she just finished her refit. I've done 2 years on there, finished up as assistant telephonist. I then went to the Baltic steamship for one trip, and then on to the Methane Pioneer for Stevenson Clark on the south coast of America for 9 months. And then the land called me and I went back home, and done 28 years in the fire service, and married, 2 children, one who's since departed, 2 grandchildren, and I now live out just outside of Oxford. And I've been in touch with Alan and Ian and one or two others ever since. And that's briefly my life history.
Peter Mann left on the Ocean Monarch in 62 to 64, then went on to the Queen, so she went back to Faslane. From there I went into engineering, been there all my working life. Got a few years to retirement, got a lovely wife, 2 kids, and that's all I did.
You can have more than one love in your life. After the Queen, I fell in love with the Oriana, so I spent 18 years on that vessel, and stayed at sea right up till 2002. I have a wife, 2 sons, and I live in the New Forest in Hampshire.
That's what you got to us.
I don't know what to say.
No, it's just nice to have in your ear.
My daughter, but she says something wrong.
Yes, you can.
I joined the Monarch at Mead in 1933. I was 15 years old. I had 3 or 4 happy years, very happy years sailing between New York and Bermuda. I used to wave to the Queen every Thursday, and she used to say, wave back to the King, or the Monarch, I mean. There's always been a friction between the Monarch and the Queen, you know, because we could always beat you at football. I knew the gardens. Anyway, I was with them until I went on holiday in 1939. I was called up in the Royal Marines. There was a mistake made, but I still didn't get out until 6 years later. And here I am with my great daughter here. And it's nice to be with shipmates. There's something about merchant seamen. There's a sort of brotherhood, isn't there?
Fellowship.
Fellowship. Thank you very much.